2022 general election in this country is not going to be a contest between the Deputy President William Ruto versus Raila Odinga. Neither is it going to be a contest between Kalonzo Musyoka, Gideon Moi, or even Musalia Mudavadi. That contest is going to be between two key individuals in this country. Can you guess who these individuals are? I'm giving you a second to mention it down there. Who do you think are going to compete in 2022? Now let me tell you, the 2022 general election is going to be a contest between the Deputy President William Ruto and President Uhuru Kenyatta. These two individuals are going to compete to prove a point to each other. William Ruto is going to prove a point to President Uhuru Kenyatta that it is him who made him the president. President Uhuru Kenyatta is also going to prove a point to the Deputy President that without him, he's a nobody. So it's going to be a contest between those two individuals. And that's how interesting politics can sometimes be. And we all know that the Deputy President William Ruto is already laying an elaborate plan to embarrass the president, and is not waiting for 2022. In Kiamba, he's hoping to humiliate the president. And President Uhuru Kenyatta has also announced that he's not going to support his deputy, but instead he's going to support one of the NASA core principles. The president's statement therefore means that he's going to choose from NASA principles, the three of them, that is Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi, and Raila Odinga. And out of these three NASA principles, the person the president is going to choose must actually be able to win the presidency. So in this video, I want to analyze the 5 parameters which President Uhuru Kenyatta is likely to use to pick one of the NASA core principles as his preferred presidential candidate. But before we do that, if you're watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Now, let us get back to serious business. Uhuru Kenyatta is going to face William Ruto in 2022. But constitutionally, President Uhuru Kenyatta cannot run for the presidency, which means he can only face his deputy by supporting someone or by sponsoring someone. And we know that in this country, we can't import politicians. We can only work with the ones we have. There is Raila Odinga, there is Musalia Mudavadi, and then there is Kalonzo Musyoka. Those are the 3 principles in NASA. But again, the president can even go outside that list and pick someone as a compromise candidate if these 3 individuals will not agree. He can pick several other people. There is Gideon Moi. I don't think Gideon Moi's interest is at now, because I don't think Kenyans are ready for another Moi in 2022. He can go for the cabinet secretary for interior, Fred Okengo Matiang'i, or even a surprise candidate. But in case he's going to go for the NASA principles, what are some of the parameters he's going to use? I have 5 of them. The first parameter is actually the ability to beat William Ruto. That is the game of numbers. For President Uhuru Kenyatta to avoid embarrassment in 2022, it will mean that we will have to beat William Ruto using numbers, either perceptional or real numbers. Real numbers means the actual votes. Then perceptional is you create impression that this person A has the numbers, and then you work on how to achieve those numbers using the deep state. So of all these 3 NASA core principles, who has the numbers? That's something which the president will be working on. He will look at Kalonzo Musyoka, then ask Kalonzo Musyoka, how many people do you have? He will go to Raila Odinga, ask Raila Odinga, how many people do you have? Then you will go to Musalia Mudavadi. How many people will you have? Okay, if you don't have enough people, what kind of coalition can you craft to bring these numbers? When it comes to that, I think the person who is favored most is actually Raila Odinga, because Raila has Nyanza, Raila has Coast, he has Nairobi. Of course, even the Northeastern and the rest, having contested severally, at least Raila will begin with the numbers. Then Musalia Mudavadi. Musalia Mudavadi has the Luyas. Of course, if the president is supporting him, definitely he has Nairobi. And then there's another calculation that if Musalia Mudavadi is running, then the president can actually campaign for him in central Kenya. So he can get more votes than Raila Odinga in the larger Mount Kenya region. What about Kalonzo Musyoka? Kalonzo Musyoka will get the Ukambani block, and being that he accepted to be Raila Odinga's running mate twice, Raila Odinga can decide to support him. And of course, some people like myself can easily support Kalonzo Musyoka. So we will figure out of these three guys who has the numbers. So that's the first parameter, ability to beat Ruto. Number two is the ability to raise campaign money. Who amongst these three individuals can raise enough money to sustain campaigns? Let me tell you something. 2022 general election is going to be one of the most expensive general elections in this country, both from the ward level. If the constitution is going to be passed, then MCs are going to have the ward fund. So majority, many people are going to contest to manage that fund. Governors, going to be another expensive one, because second term of governors are not going to contest. So many people are going to be interested. So many people with money are going to be interested in gubernatorial seats. At the national level, William Ruto has already raised the bar. So it means if you don't have money, then you won't be able to contest. Musalia Mudavadi, I think, has enough money. Kalonzo Musyoka, I'm not so sure, but I'm told there are several campers who can chip in. Raila Odinga has contested 2 or 3 times, 3 times serious money. And of course, he has enough network to raise money. So again, when it comes to campaign financing, Raila Odinga will score highly on that. But again, President Uhuru Kenyatta, as an individual, has deep pocket, he has the deep state. So which means if he decides to go for Musalia Mudavadi, then he can decide to go and finance that candidate. If he decides to go for Kalonzo Musyoka, he can still go to his pocket, finance it, and even use the deep state. So I don't think this is going to be a major factor, but as an individual, you must have money ready. How many times have you seen Musalia Mudavadi outside Luhyaland, or Kalonzo Musyoka outside Ukambani? Very few times. Why? Because you need the money to traverse the country, and this country is vast. Number 3 is the ability to serve his interest. Between Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, and Musalia Mudavadi, who do you think can serve the interest of President Uhuru Kenyatta? My answer to that would be Musalia Mudavadi. On that, Musalia Mudavadi is going to score heavily. Politics is about interest. Uhuru has interest in business. He also has interest in politics. Ruto is not allowing Uhuru to enjoy businesses monopoly the way he used to do. He's also competing with Uhuru in central Kenya. So he can't. And that's why Uhuru is supporting someone else. But can Raila Odinga serve the interest of President Uhuru Kenyatta? That's another question. If you were to ask me this question 10 years ago, I would tell you no. But based on his age, I think, again, these guys might figure out that Raila Odinga, at his age, probably he'll just need to be given the presidency. Then you you create powerful individuals around him. But again, this was tried on Kibaki, and those who tried it on Kibaki failed. So his interest, he will have to look at the best person who can serve his interest beyond 2022. The fourth parameter is going to be historical debts. Uhuru Kenyatta found it very difficult to campaign in most parts of the country. Why? Because of the debt of the father, because of the baggage of the father, because of the past mistakes. So Uhuru Kenyatta would want a situation where these historical mistakes are corrected. Who can correct these historical mistakes? Is it Kalonzo? Is it Raila? Is it Mudavadi? So we'll figure out amongst these three individuals who can sort out these historical debts. Minor Commander once said that Uhuru was going to support Raila because the father sacrificed a lot for the Kikuyu, but the Kikuyus betrayed the father. David Murathe has also stated the same. David Murathe is a close ally of the president. So sometimes I want to assume that whatever David Murathe said is what is in President Uhuru Kenyatta's mind. But again, the president might decide that Raila and Uhuru not going to contest, they are supporting someone. And that person, they'll put conditions for him, you must do A, B, C, D. But historical debts is something Uhuru would want to be sorted. Number 5 is the allies. President Uhuru Kenyatta has been the president for 10 years. He has so many people in government who can take care of these people. Is that person Raila? Is that person Mudavadi? Is that person Kalonzo? If President Uhuru Kenyatta were to retire today and William Ruto becomes the president, the following people will lose their job the next day. David Murathe, Karanja Kibicho, Nancy Gitau, Fred Matiang'i. If Uhuru were to be given a chance, he would still have some of those people around him. So his wish would also be that even if he's not the president, then some of these guys would remain around. Who can do that? Is it Raila? Is it Kalonzo? Is it Musalia Mudavadi? So in my considered opinion, those are some of the 5 parameters. I want to challenge you to add 2 parameters the president is likely to use to determine who is going to be the presidential candidate from amongst the NASA principles. Just add for me 2. I've deliberately left out some, but I want you to add those 2 below. Again, if you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or 2 and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support. Without that support, this channel cannot be where it is today. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day.